So there's this guy named Anthony Miracola who set a bunch of basketball shooting world records, who then went on to inside the NBA to be recognized for them. There, he got embarrassed by Kenny in a three-point shootout that they had on set. Kenny made 3 shots straight while Anthony missed 3. And then a bunch of people, myself included, probably went on to think that maybe he's a pretty good shooter, but any NBA caliber player could probably break any of his records if they really wanted to. Well, turns out Anthony is actually pretty sick. He won this $100,000 shooting competition hosted by Gilbert Arenas, and apparently has won a bunch of other shooting contests too. He also went on Arenas' podcast afterwards to talk about what actually happened on Inside the NBA. And if you don't want to bother to watch it, basically he said that he was warming up and his shots kept hitting the ceiling. So he told the crew he didn't want to do a 3-point contest on the show, but that he'd be willing to do free throws. And then when they went live, he was pressured to do the 3-point shootout anyways. And I guess Kenny has a lower arc on his shot, so he was able to make them. Anyways, at this point, I'm convinced that Miracola is a great shooter. He also seems pretty confident that, at least in competition shooting, he can beat anyone. In fact, I'm so convinced that I wanted to do a video just analyzing his shot technique. I think a lot of people have noted that his shot looks weird, but I bet if you were to take a closer look, you'd find that he actually follows a lot of what I consider to be key principles of shooting, and that it's actually not that weird at all. So, with all that said, let's take a closer look ourselves. So the first thing I like to look out for is to see if it's a 1 or 2 motion shot. That basically means, is there a significant pause at the shooter's set point? Let's get a better angle to look at that. Alright, this is a better angle. So first let's see where his set point is. It's right there, and it looks like there is a significant pause there, which is actually pretty normal, I think. I remember watching Kat and Halliburton during the 3-point shootout, and they both also seem to have 2 motion shots. Perhaps there's an argument to be made about using a 2 motion shot in competition. Maybe it saves energy or it simplifies the motion in that you just focus on the second motion of the shot. So the next thing I want to look for is to see if he's jumping forward or straight up in his shot, or even fading away, and also the release timing of the shot. Let's see right here. Pause it. I'm going to mark where his feet are. There. Then after the jump, it does look like there's like a slight move forward, but it's pretty much straight up. And then let's see his release timing. I'm going to pause it right where he releases, right there. And that pretty much looks like he's shooting on the way up to me. So that tells me that he's pretty strong upper body wise, just because he's not jumping forward. I definitely need that extra strength, especially during NBA threes. But he is releasing on the rise, which definitely adds a lot of power to your shot. Okay, now let's look at the alignment of his shot. So I think what a lot of people think is weird about his shot is because it's so off to the side. But honestly, I think this is pretty normal. Most people shouldn't be shooting from the center of their body anymore. It's just a little more drastic than most people. But your arm's not in the center of your body, so you should off-center the ball anyways. Okay, now let's look at the straightness of his release. So let's see, starting right here-ish. Here's the ball. And then going into the release, that looks really straight to me. Let's go a couple frames back. Release is right there. It looks like a straight line to me. Now I did notice his hand kind of ricochets to the side, but I think that's pretty much irrelevant. The ball looks like it releases straight, so it's going to go straight to the hoop. Let's see if on this front view we can see the alignment a little better. So right there is his set point. And then the release, that looks really straight to me. And then just as I said, he has this little ricochet motion. But again, if you just look at it, the ball releases and his arm is straight. And that part of the shot is all that really matters. It's going to go straight to the hoop. And then I just want to take a look at his body alignment and feet alignment. So let's see right here. Looks like one foot is pointing towards the hoop, but the other is slightly misaligned. And I think most modern shooters have their feet a little misaligned just to help with the straight alignment of the arms. I also noticed that his feet are pretty close together, but I guess that's just a preference thing. Maybe people would just recommend that you widen it a bit if that makes you feel more balanced. And then I also noticed that his body looks like it's pointing towards the rim, but let's take a look at the release. And then right here during the release, it looks like his chest opens up just a bit to the side. I think most shooters are somewhere in between, but yeah, probably mostly irrelevant, just kind of preference. All that really matters is that the ball is going straight. Let's take a look at the hand placement. So in particular, I'm looking for the off shooting hand. Right here, it looks like it's on the side, but it's also covering the top. Let's see how the release looks then. It looks really clean to me. Takes the cap off, and then it doesn't look like the guide hand affects the ball at all. Really just to balance the ball initially. So in conclusion, I think it's a pretty normal looking shot actually. Again, it does look weird just because he starts the ball off to the side more than most people, but if you just kind of look at the important principles, he releases it straight, he has good power shooting on the way up. Maybe his body and his feet are a little strange compared to other shooters, but I think that's to accommodate for the ball being on the side of his body. But it might look strange to you, but I think it's following pretty much all principles that I would consider important. So thanks for making it to the end of the video. Here's a little treat for making it here. See you in the next one.